Warning, Pokemon battle is approaching fast. Quickly, select your team and see what you're going to do against said Pokemon team. It is going to be a terribly tough fight. And suddenly, it's going to begin, after these black and white screens that we all so love so much. But we don't know exactly when it's going to happen or what's going to happen or anything else, so be sure that you're prepared because it's going to be a bullet storm of hell and everything else. Man, I almost sound like a classic type of announcer person for a thing. Wow, I am the most descriptive person in the entire world. Anyways, I've got a match against Scott, SquirtleScott, SquirtleSquatty, I'm going to lead off with my Terrakion in case he wants to lead off with something that I can actually deal with wholeheartedly and not be afraid of. So I'm going to switch out to my Belzong, and I'm just going to come in here and wall him, hopefully. But he decides to bring in a Magnezone with his ability to trap me inside the battle with magnets. For we all know that Bronzong is magnetic, as you can tell. I'm going to pop his balloon and then begin to rain on his parade. For I am one of the weird people that carries Earthquake on my Bronzong, which will not allow him to set up on me and come out with this on top of a sub, or at least inside of it. I don't know exactly. How does that work in Pokemon? Just put a substitute in front of them and then the Pokemon's too dumb to try and aim behind the sub? So out comes a Reuniclus as I Earthquake and do hardly anything to it, because Reuniclus is that thing. It's a homunculus of some sort, but it's also a Pokemon, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that it has those two little nubs floating above its head, but I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. It looks like it's supposed to be some sort of baby embryo thing, but then again it also looks like kind of a rabbit, so I don't know. I'm not going to be thinking about that. Actually, looking at it, it looks kind of like an alien hominid character. So I'm going to go out to the finest of Memo's wine, and he's going to Focus Blast and hit, which kinda sucks, but whatever. That's this game. It's just the way it is. So I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash, and he's like, I was going to recover there. And I'm just like, well, that's the game. I mean, it's not exactly common, but it happens. So I decide to go for another Icicle Crash as I am banded, and I more or less have no choice. So I'm just going to fodder this here, I think, unless I switch. I can't remember, honestly. It's been a few days since I had this battle, but the ending is hilarious. So I Icicle Crash again and managed to kill off the Magnezone. I almost called it a Magnezong. Don't know why. Probably because of his nickname. Spoilers. So out comes a Scizor, and I'm like, well, he's either going to Bullet Punch or Pursuit. If he Pursuits, then so be it. If he Bullet Punches, then that's great. So go out to my Gyarados, get the Intimidate off as he punches me with a bullet. And now I have to wonder about the fact that I didn't see Life Orb recoil when I was battling him, so I was like, something. Because I was like, maybe it was rocks or something, I don't know. But out comes Metagross again, and he shows here that he is the old classic Diamond and Pearl Scarf set that nobody hardly uses anymore, but it can still be effective to some extent, although I don't personally like running Scarfed Metagross anymore with the whole explosion nerf. However, I'm sure that you can find a way to use it, and use it very, very carefully. Especially since its name is Hewlett Packard or something. I wanted to call it Picard because that would be cool or something, I don't know. Out comes Fruit of Breloom, also known as that underwear company, Fruit of the Loom. And that's why it is nicknamed Underwear. I don't know if I've ever used this before, actually, and actually uploaded it. That's what I meant to say. So, going to do the whole thing that Breloom pretty much is known for, and sub up, and then Spore, and then nobody will play the game anymore because people just stopped playing Spore out of nowhere, I guess. I don't know. I don't ever see anybody talking about it or uploading it or anything, and those people that made the game were complaining about people pirating it because they put in some crappy DRM, and nobody really cares anymore. Now then, I'm just going to be sitting in here waiting for him to do something as I keep stone edging and surprisingly hitting, as he now recovers up, and I'm like, okay, my plan of action here is going to be Spore and then switch, because there's no point of me staying in here banking on crits and other stuff, such as crits. And trying to get nowhere, really. And I don't have the ability to focus punch this very well because of the resistance factor. And I have so many PP for Stone Edge, and I do not want to waste them. So, going to go out to my Terrakion again, over-exaggerating the pronunciation of the R's because I just like doing it. I know its name is Terrakion, but hey, people like to call Virizion and Terrakion's brother Cobalion. They like to call it Cobalion because for some reason the whole Japanese name thing just doesn't make any sense anymore, because that's exactly what its name is in English. It's just got an L instead of a R-U sound. Cobalion or something, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but it's like Raikou and Entei and Suicune. People say Entei and Suicune correctly, but they just mess up on Raikou, despite the fact that it's a Japanese name, and the others are Japanese names too. So, I do not understand it. And besides, it's supposed to be Cobalion, because why would it be Virizion and Terrakion? What do you say? Virizion, Berryzion, Virizion, Terrakion. So I go out to my Mamoswine, and I decide to just switch out because I don't know what he wants to do, and I want to make sure that if he is a sex, that is sex, yes, if he's a sex, which is male, then I must find a genderless Pokemon to take it on. Or a sexless Pokemon, I guess you could say. I don't know, gender and sex are not the same thing, contrary to popular belief. Now he's going to go out to his Tyranitar as I Gyro Ball, figuring I could do something to that Latios, because most Latios run quite a bit of speed, and he seems to be a Specs variant, so he's probably timid. I don't know Moni. I don't know Moni either. But I don't know anybody who runs Specs with Modest or anything, so we shall see. Out comes a Boa, and I'm going to constrict it by not doing anything, really. Just going to set up a Reflect here, as he Fire Blasts me into the skies of the place that people go when they don't die. So, the clouds, I don't know. An airplane, he did something. Go to Crunch, he's gonna not kill me because I have the Reflect up. And now his substitute is going to go away, as is Complementary. I don't know what I'm saying. Now then, I am going to have this brilliant idea of staying in and dying so he doesn't get a free sub up, but he's going to switch out to his Latios as I go for the Gyro Ball this time, and he's going to not take that very well because he is a Latios, and Latios doesn't take attacks very well when it's coming from something that is usable anyway. I wouldn't say Bronzong is amazing, especially since Ferrothorn does a lot more with its Gyro Balls. So now I'm going to go out to my Mamoswine, because I love the aroma of Mamoswine. It is the best wine in the entire world. That is why it's the finest. It is sitting in a barrel for quite some time and tastes like a barrel, but hey, nobody seems to care because they're too drunk to notice. Now then, as we are communicating, standing by, and being the finest of Mamoswine, I'm going to Ice Shard in the off chance he just wanted to go for the Bullet Punch, but no, he wants to Swords Dance because he is a Scizor, and he can hold so many swords in those claws of his that he is using right now. He's going to Bullet Punch me and do the damage of killing me, and now I have very little options that I can do, except I can go out to my hilariously mis-EV'd Infernape, who is going to be coming out here in a second, who is supposed to have max special attack, max speed, and 4 and something else, but this Infernape has max speed, max special defense, and max attack. No. Max special defense and max attack. Doesn't even have max speed. My mistake. So, because of that, I do not kill off the Scizor with Vacuum Wave, but he kills himself off with Life Orb, which is just like, really? So out comes his Metagross, and here's where I find out that it's Scarfed, because he outspeeds me and goes for an Ice Punch as I Spore him. And because I am the greatest person in the entire world, and when I do my math, I think of every possible little thing, as you saw the calculator down there, and I decided to make a substitute, and I'm like, oh crap, Sandstorm, why? And that is how I lost against SquirtleScott. and I probably just killed half of you guys' ears. So I hope you guys enjoyed that ear rape, and now I am going to say that I don't know what I'm doing about my tournament. I PM'd 2 people, and I'm just going to let it go from there because I haven't heard from anybody else. And more than likely I was banking on these people being in the finals anyways, so we'll see what's going on there, I guess. And I was going to upload a battle with Sebi before I upload this one, but I'm not because I need to get that whole tournament information out there, and my voice has to crack because I'm talking about stuff.